This episode of the CYF Podcast is brought to you by the Niagara Falls Ryerson Innovation Hub. Thank you so much for letting us use your amazing podcast studio located right here in downtown Niagara Falls. This episode is also brought to you by the Black Sheep Lounge, home of Black Sheep Roasters and some amazing local coffee. You can get 20% off your order using promo code CYF20 when you go visit their website, blacksheepniagara.com. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CYF Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing. If you're new here, please be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button. It really helps the algorithm and everything that we're trying to do here. With that being said, I want to introduce you a very special guest. She is a mother, an entrepreneur, a fitness model. She does so many things. There's a laundry list of items to go on, and I just want to say, Makayla Rogerson, thank you so much for coming on the CYF Podcast.
Thank you so much, Matt. I'm very honored to be here. I'm thankful that you even asked me to. It's a little last-minute surprise, but, you know, we make things work. And we
of course, yeah. We got this, well, we've been trying to, lock down, 4 different schedules with the studio and everything. It's just okay, I definitely want to try and get a podcast in sometime soon, so, which is great. So, thank you so much for being here.
Always and ever.
Great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into the CYF Podcast, the show where we go behind the scenes to give you tips and tricks to help you create your future. And today, Makayla, we just want to get into your story, how you created your future, how you kind of got your start. So let's start off at the very core again. What was kind of one of your first passion projects that you kind of got into, and what are you doing now? Was it modeling that came first, fitness that came first? The floor is yours.
So, for at the start of me, basically I'm going to go back to high school where I went to Lower Secord and I joined the DNA program, which is the District Niagara Academy for the Arts. When I joined that program, it was for the discipline of dance. So I was a self-taught competitive dancer, dancing through Lower Secord. I went to a rec studio as well for about 10 months in that time frame, but mainly self-taught completely myself. I couldn't afford going to a competitive studio, so I whittled my way into the Lower Secord dance crew and then competed through them for about 2 to 3 years. And then throughout the time there, I did fall pregnant, and I moved schools, moved back, moved provinces, moved back. It's been
provinces.
I moved to Alberta when I was pregnant and jumped back on a bus at 35 weeks pregnant.
Wow. I think there's a lot to dissect
oh,
in there. That sandwich. We can get into it if you want.
It's a whole story. Yeah. My gosh. Yeah. So, so started on high school. Dance was kind of my forte, what I wanted to do. But then I realized, the age group I was at, I was not at the competitive level that I should be at. So I'm like, what else can I do that kind of ties almost like dancing, but not obviously the extreme of dancing. So I'm like, maybe I could dabble in modeling. So modeling kind of started out. I did a couple photo shoots. My first one was at the Niagara College in Welland for a student there. She was a photography student, needed to do some photos for her final portfolio. So I came in, did some photos, got 3 photos from that set because supposedly there was some malfunction with the camera. But flash forward, I connected with a photo studio, which is no longer around, and made a bunch of different connections and networks and grew my little network in Niagara and Toronto. Then in 2019, I competed in Supermodel Canada.
Very cool.
Being one of the 3 Niagara representatives from Niagara to compete in that competition. There's 3 of us that made it to the finals. And then I went through all the way to the show, competed in the fashion show at the end of the way, went for 3 days in Toronto. It was 3 full days of complete modeling, wake up, hair, makeup, get things done, doing challenges and contests, literally living the full model day in, day out life for a full 3 days, living in the hotel and everything. Very busy day, very hectic time.
What was that like on your mental health?
It was a lot. Speaking that, I was away from my son for the first time. That was, one of the first times I was away from my son for a long while.
And how old were you when you had your son?
I was 17 when I had him.
Wow.
And then at the time of this competition, I was 19. So it was, little man was about 2 years old. First time away for that time frame as well. So 3 days might not be long, but being first-time mom, right?
Of course,
so it's completely different. So learned a lot, met a lot of people, connected with so many people, and then I was scouted for Miss Progress International. I was scouted as the Canadian ambassador, so I ended up being crowned and sashed, and then flown to Italy later that October, which was even longer of a time frame away from my son. I was away for 9 days, competed in the pageant, my very first ever pageant in my life. I was under the height requirement for both Supermodel Canada and this pageant, and they still let me in. I was also the only mother in this pageant as well, being the second youngest.
Wow.
So that's a little like...
You had a lot of good, well, I don't know, it's like you had a lot of variables going on, which made it very unique, I think, maybe in like their selection and choosing.
Right.
You, for sure.
That's what I was like looking at too. So I'm seeing like, so the director that selected me, Seska, she was connected with a bunch of people backstage of Supermodel Canada, and she went around and asking people, who do you think would represent our country well for this? Who do you think would be a good represent for this pageant? And I guess my name was brought up enough times for them to reach out to me.
Wow.
So
Very cool.
I ended up trying that out, did the pageant, came runner-up in my category for Miss Human Rights. So I was like, I think within the top 9 of the entire pageant, there was about 22 of us. So being able to place top 9 in all these countries for my first ever pageant, it was like a huge starstruck moment, like being able to just to have that experience. Like learning so much and just being able to absorb information and experiences throughout my life is kind of the niche and the key that I've realized that's what I'm supposed to do, because I'm easy to adapt to other things. I'm easy to learn and like obtain skills. But on the other side of things, I'm also able to teach and reflect the skills and give them to other people as well. So coach and teach and give them to other individuals.
Which is what you're doing now. We'll get into that too. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So like it's kind of nice being able to take in experiences, learning everything, not being able just to teach my son and show him that, hey, no matter what you put your mind to, you can do it. I'm trying to show and like gravitate that to other individuals in the industry, whether you be here in Niagara or Saudi Arabia. You know, I want to connect to as many faces as I can. So Supermodel Canada, pageant done, and then growing and connecting with more people. My network just ended up growing and growing and growing. So that's where our models came into effect, which was my little modeling team that I started back in 2018. So before Supermodel Canada, before the pageant and everything, it was kind of like a small team of people I'm like mentoring and just guiding through, hey, I'm learning this, try this out, or learn this. I can't make it to this shoot. Can you fill me in? I can't go to this event. Can you go for me? I would literally throw substitutes in my place a lot of the time, and that's what built my reputation, because if a model can't make it or someone can't make it, oh, I'm sorry,
right,
no one usually says, hey, can this person go for me, or is this person available, like can I like put someone in my place? A lot of people don't mention that at all, and because I was able to keep that credibility and able to put someone in my place so I wouldn't leave anybody hanging, it ended up growing a connection. Like, hey, I need a girl for this. Hey, do you know someone for this? I'm looking for someone for this. So now an agency kind of ended up blowing out of there. And now today we stand as Our House Agency, the only model and talent development agency in the Niagara region.
Wow, very cool. What a segue. It's like, boom, period, that's it, moving on. No, that's, wow. Like, well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Like that's amazing. And in your modeling experience, I've heard a lot of different stories in the industry. Could you share with us one of like your craziest moments, or maybe like uncomfortable moments, or something that's like super memorable that like stuck out with you during your modeling experience?
So there's a couple experiences that I can list off. I've fallen off a runway. I've tripped on a runway. I've had a nip slip on live television.
Wow.
I've had a couple things.
What television channel?
So I was
that's wild. Local, national.
It was national.
Oh wow. Okay, that's it.
So it was CTV's The Social.
Oh.
CTV's The Social.
Whoa. Wow.
So, I was a guest member. I'm on their call list for audience members to come and cheer and clap and be one of those people constantly, which is kind of nice. So they call me back a bunch of times. They always call me back, and I'm actually going to go back within like this month or next month too, because I just reopened up live audiences again. So the one time I'm on there and they're filming and everything, I was wearing a jumpsuit. I didn't think anything of it. They cut the cameras for commercial. Buddy comes over. You may want to watch your top. You kind of slip. I'm like, did I? I don't know.
No way.
So there was like that little bit. I've tripped, like I said, I've tripped off the runway. Like I was the finale. Oh, my apologies.
No, it's good.
I was the finale, and I fell off. Like exiting. My back was to the audience, and I fell off exiting. I got that on video.
How did you feel during that moment when that happened?
I almost tore down the whole set. I grabbed the walls and almost everything fell.
One of those like just disaster moments where everything goes down.
It almost was like literally a pinch more, and 100% I would have. So I was like walking down the stairs and I caught onto the fabric and I tripped down, and everyone's like, "What And that's the end.
Wow. Jeez.
Just everyone gasped, and then the lights went on.
Yeah, I guess like that would take a lot to like can't really because it happens so fast. I guess it's kind of like not really. It's a lot to process.
But the fact that it was the finale and that was the last thing everyone saw.
I know. It's like okay, yep. Well, we're gonna
check on her.
Wow, that's crazy. So let's talk about now. Your agency right now, kind of like how it started to form. What are you guys currently doing right now, and where people can kind of find you?
So our house agency, we are currently located at 255 Church Street in St. Catharines. We do have a building and office that we utilize. It is located in the National Association of Estheticians. Short form is NAE. So that's where we're located right now. Projects that we've been doing lately, working on development. So we have our workshops and our training that happen monthly. We have a monthly development program for our models. And then Jasmine White, my business partner, she does a talent development program on her own time. So she works with musicians.
Shout out Jasmine.
Yes, Jasmine. I love you, baby.
Yeah.
So she does training on her own time, musicians, vocalists, songwriters. She does songwriting sessions and stuff. She has a recording studio, so she offers recording sessions to people as well. She also does a lot of video editing, a lot of photo editing, music editing, a lot of the stuff that she's done, like her music videos, she does the editing a lot for them and whatnot. She does a lot of her own
Very
work.
hands-on.
Very, 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 very Jill of all trades, I like to call her for sure.
Jill of all trades?
Jill of all trades.
Wow. Okay.
That's how a lot of my team is. Like, we're a Jack or Jill of all trades. We all have multiple different skills to be able to form together and bring it together. So, like, Tiana, I've hired her on as my head model coach. She's, like, so knowledgeable and so skilled in many different areas with modeling. She's been modeling a little longer than I have, and she also coaches with Canadian Top Model too. So she coaches with us and them, doing both at the same time.
Very cool.
So being able to bring her skills and knowledge into our house has been very, very beneficial. And the three of us are all C-Corps alumni.
No way.
All three of us are
That's
C-Corps
crazy.
alumni.
That really brings it back to like St. Catherine's root and like culture with that, which is really, really fucking cool.
And I'm loving that. Just because of the fact that the three of us are C-Corps alumni, we want to go back to C-Corps and be like, hey guys, we were you. We sat in this auditorium. You guys can come join us. You guys can work with us.
How long have you guys been running the business now?
So I started our house in our models in 2018. And then our house formed about 2019, 2020, and then I incorporated last year.
Very, very cool.
So
congratulations.
Thank you. So we've been, my 1 year of corporation's coming up this month/next month.
Great.
So I've been just figuring all the paperwork and all that fun stuff out. Just gotta read it, right?
I can help with that, or I can help with that, or I know some people who can help out with their account stuff for whatever. That's very, very cool.
So we've been 4 years about working. We've done multiple different commercials around the area. So we've worked with Penn Financial, Jillian's Place, Mitchell Riley Pictures, Captivate Photo Cinema, a bunch of different companies around here. My son's all over the Americana, I've mentioned a couple times. And then projects that we're working on right now, still I mentioned the development program, and then we have our car show and shoot coming up soon. I host those usually annually. COVID kind of like put it on hold for a little bit, so we're going to continue those again. We do magazine shoots, calendar shoots, fashion shows and events. Either we host them or we send our girls to them. We do casting calls all the way through. This weekend, Tiana and I, we have a fitting for Brampton Fashion Week, so we got Brampton Fashion Week coming up. We have Modern Bride Wedding Show coming up in the fall.
Lots of stuff.
Bunch of things going on.
Wow, very cool. Congratulations. It's always good to see, I love seeing other entrepreneurs or other creatives in Niagara do very well, because I feel like there's not a lot of sometimes I find that a lot of people don't want to see you do better than them. So when you can meet other like-minded people, I love to see that you're crushing. I love even when you just call me and say, I'm doing this, and I'm just like, fuck yeah, let's fucking go. I know, which was great. I was just like, you're gonna, it's great.
My main goal, being I've seen the success I've been able to do, the people that I work with, the success we're all able to do, whether it be in Niagara or in Toronto, we want to help grow other individuals who want to get there. We're not all for ourselves. We know people in the industry are just for themselves, are doing their own thing. They want to focus
especially in that industry, and especially in my side and the talent management too, for influencers. There are so many scumbags.
They're just for themselves. I've met them, I know them, I've seen them, I watched them, and I'm just like, there's enough room for all of us.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
enough room.
And the key is, and I love their thoughts too, is you have to be able to work together instead of just being like, I did this, it's all about me, it's me.
Yes.
It's none of that fucking matters. It's like, I've always been the philosophy is like, change your eyes to We's, and together we're gonna grow.
Exactly.
100%.
You need a team. No one's a one-man band. It always takes a village to do something.
Yeah.
Always takes a village, whether it be to raise a kid or build a business.
Yeah, and you're doing both.
Exactly.
And you're doing both. Yeah, you're raising a kid, which I've been able to meet. Very, very, very cute. He's awesome. Little man's great. Shout out, little man. When you watch this years from now, you're gonna watch this podcast. Yeah.
Little man.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. I was gonna say, could you kind of walk us through, because I know you're big into working out and like your physical health and all that kind of stuff. Could you kind of maybe like walk us through that journey in terms of like fitness? And I know that's probably kind of went hand in hand with modeling. You always got to keep like that. How did that kind of start, and how serious do you take it?
So fitness actually started in my younger years. I was always a competitive athlete through school and stuff. So any sports team that your school offered, I was on the team.
Wow.
So basketball, volleyball, soccer, track, cross country, everything, 3-pitch, literally every single sport that was available to the schools from grade 3 up until about grade 9, I was part of every team.
Very cool.
Except for one year when the coach was like, you have bad sportsmanship, but we're not going to talk about that. hey, that team lost every year. That not me.
Yeah,
Little karma there.
Yeah, wild.
But yeah, so I've always been a competitive athlete through sports, like just teams and always doing teams and stuff and whatnot, which is where dance kind of dabbled, because that's also a sport and whatnot. I dabbled in cheer a little bit. But after high school, so in grade 9, I was on the cross country team and competed in that. And then I did track, but I was doing dance team at the same time. So when I had my one competition for pole vault, I missed it because I had my dance competition in Niagara Falls. So it was a lot of cross scheduling. So I had to make decisions from there. So I dropped off fitness and athletics and like moved into dance. But then I dropped off dance because I found out I had scoliosis. So my back and capability couldn't keep up.
Wow.
So I struggle with scoliosis. I do have a tear in my left ACL from playing football in grade 10. And then I have a sprained rotator cuff from a video shoot that I did like last year.
Wow.
So I'm a little crippled, but I'm still doing things and getting things done. And showing as an example, because like now in this season, and I see this season because right now I'm a bodybuilder, because I'm competing in 3.5 weeks in my very first ever bodybuilding show. I've never tried this before. I've never done personal training before. I've never worked out in the gym until these past 2 years. Like I didn't do anything on my own. I'm very brand new to everything. So learning experience of everything, working out, the workouts, which muscle movements you're moving, the nutrition, the dieting, the macros, all that, the mindset, the mentality you gotta have. It's a lot that people don't count in and don't realize until you're actually doing it. So this is a huge experience for me. Like I just want to get to the show because I know how like challenging it is just to even get there. I know like there's stories of people who die during prep and people who are like going crazy, and I'm just being intuitive with my body. I'm listening to everything it needs and what it wants. Yes, I'm in cut, so I do have to have a calorie
deficit,
right? So little things are changing up and down, little extra cardio thrown into there as well, right? So everything kind of balances and has been going.
Are you working out every day?
Every day, except actually my split right now is a 4-3 split, so I do have 3 days off out of my workout. So right now I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, taking the weekends to myself to focus so I don't have to scatter for a babysitter just to get to the gym. Yeah. That's the worst thing I hate with the scheduling right now myself, because my little guy was only in a morning camp. Right. So at noon I'd have to pick him up and then figure out my schedule the way there. So I'm thankful enough to have the friends that I have who have been able to help me out with babysitting and whatnot, because I have no family out here. It's just my little guy and I.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember you told me. Like,
it's a whole story.
Whole other story. You should write a fucking book one day.
I need someone to write it for me. I can't write.
I'm sure we could find someone to do that. Yeah.
Right? So like I'm living out here myself. My mom moved out to Alberta back in 2015. My sister followed her in 2019 and had her son. 2018 and had her son, and then they've been out there ever since. So it's just me and my little guy here. My father unfortunately passed back in 2020, so I had to I've been the executor of the estate. I was 19 when that happened, so that was 2 months before my 20th birthday. I had to plan my father's funeral and everything and bury him and all that.
Wow.
And that was right before COVID, so it was like all dealing with COVID at the same time too with everything. So that was a rough year. 2020 was a rough year for me. Yeah. But that was also the same year I started working out. I started working out April 1st, 2020 in my little bedroom.
No way.
Yeah, that's when.
Did you feel like that gave you that serotonin beast to kind of like, you know what, like make my mental and physical. Yeah,
I need to do something. I need because honestly, the gym is therapy to me. Like when I'm down or whatnot, I just get to the gym and then it clears my mind, gets everything going, and then you're all in a better mood and doing the things you need to do. So it gives me the opportunity to focus on myself and get the things I need to do. And then I've also been doing some yoga lately. I've been getting back into yoga at Lost and Found Yoga.
Very cool.
So they're local.
Shout out Lost and Found Yoga.
Yes, beautiful guys. I love you guys. They're great. Beautiful studio. Check them out. They have multiple different classes. They're in studio. They got online classes. They have preset videos that you can look at and do on your own time if you can't make it to any of the class times. They're very, very flexible with like availability for everybody. So I really like their classes. They have a wide variety of different classes. Like the other day I took a Heather class. Tomorrow I have some hot yoga going. So multiple different things that people can do.
It sounds like your schedule is like, it's so crazy, which brings me to my next question is, what does your daily routine look like?
So my daily routine, I try to make sure I'm in bed by like 10:30 lately. It's been off last little bit, but I'm getting back into the schedule. I get up for about 6:30. I read a little bit, a chapter of my one book. Right now I'm reading The 48 Laws of Power.
Cool.
So it's a really good book by Robert Greene. I recommend everybody reading that. It's a good book.
I definitely recommend The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss.
Okay.
If you haven't checked it.
The
4-Hour Workweek.
4-Hour
Workweek. Yeah, it just talks about just like efficiency, like how to like streamline kind of the different aspects of your business. You being a business owner too, I think you'd be so
Beautiful.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah,
very,
I'm
very
gonna
cool.
check that out. I'm gonna add to my list, my long list.
For sure. So you wake up 6:30, you read. Then what's
read.
Next?
I make sure I'm getting some water into me, being hydrated and all that. Get my breakfast going, relax, and get up. If it's a Friday, I'll do my check-ins with my coach. Any other day, I'm kind of just allowing my body to wake up, get ready and going. Then I wake up little man, depending if he has school or camp. Then I get him settled and ready for all that, getting him breakfast, dressed, all that. Then after we brush our teeth and out the door, my day kind of consists of, depending on what the schedule is, sometimes I'll coach in the morning at F45. Sometimes I work at Herc's throughout the day, so I'll work a 9 to 3. So it depends on the day of the scheduling. I work 2 part-time jobs. That's those 2. On days that I'm coaching and I only coach in the morning, I will schedule the gym right after my coaching. I go from there to the gym, do whatever I need to do at the gym, get that workout done. Depending on the time frame, I need to pick up Cadron. If it's at noon for camp, then I pick him up, and then either we go to the office and get some work done, play, get some things done, or if I need some things to do for my own business or my own career, I have appointments and things done or shoots and stuff, I'll take him to a sitter so he can hang out with them, have some fun, and then I'll get my work done kind of deal. So it's a very, like, every day is variable. Like I can explain every single day completely different because they're all different days. And then weeks change up all the time depending on the bookings that I get for modeling or my clients for our house, because those always fluctuate. And they always change every single week. No week is the same.
Yeah.
No week is ever the same. No days are the same.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. And I think that's kind of good in a sense because it keeps the mind like fresh and like you're not like it's not like you're doing the same mundane task all the time.
Exactly. I'm not stuck in that 9 to 5 get up schedule, do that what I need. I'm able to be malleable, do little things, many different things, keep my mind busy and different, like I hate, like, honestly, growing up, I always thought I was going to work in a cubicle. I always thought that I was going to be that person working in the office and whatnot. I might do, partially.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing. I love it.
Yeah, totally,
I love it, right? So,
but sometimes that's just not for
everybody,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And then there's some days I don't want to be sitting in the office, so I'll do my meetings at a coffee shop, or I'll take my phone and I'll do whatever I need at a park or something with Little Man. I'll multitask everything.
Yep,
and
for sure.
Little Man comes to work with me, whether it be at F45, Herc's, or at the office, and he's like, I gotta be a big helper, Mom. I gotta help you out, and he just helps me out with everything.
Oh, that's so great.
And he tries to do workouts with me. He tries to do yoga with me. He just interacts and tries to do everything I'm doing. So it's kind of nice being able to teach him and like
shape and mentor him and have him be part of your journey,
right?
Yeah,
like, and he's very exposed to the modeling industry in the sense of like he comes to some of my shoots with me and he's either in front of the camera or behind the camera.
Right.
He helps both. He does both things.
Yeah,
he'll take a photo and then he'll run behind to go see what he looks like. And
very cool.
Cute.
Wow. I was gonna say, now with all the different things that you do, and I can relate to this too, obviously doing a bunch of different things as well. Do you have 1 or 2 specific things that you do that you're like, this is the one thing that I'm the most passionate about? Do you have that?
So my biggest passion, like, besides, like, being a model and doing the modeling in itself, is just being an example to other individuals that they can really do anything that they put their mind to. If I'm capable of doing the multiple things that I do in the successions and different ways that I'm capable to do, I want to be that example for other people to try something else. So, like, hey, I see this girl's a mom and she's bodybuilding. I see this girl's a mom and she's running this business and she's still modeling and she's doing this. I want to try it.
Right.
That's what I want from other people. I want them to say I want to try. I'm inspired
because
by
of
her.
you. I was able to do this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whether they say it to me first form or I hear it third person or they're just doing it and I see it and I'm like, oh wow, I got to influence and I got to inspire. That's
others.
The biggest thing. I just want to inspire other individuals just by doing me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do me and I'll learn the things I want to learn. I can share those information, share the knowledge of what I learned, the wisdom and everything, and then other people just take it and run with it. Like, when I first started working out, I was just being consistent with dry scoops.
Yeah.
Dry scooping isn't the healthiest thing. I do not recommend it, but if you do it, it works.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that, people are like, you being consistent with the dry scoop, like being consistent on the posting, inspired me to get working out. Just me being consistent. It didn't matter what it was. Like, I just posting something, the same thing every single day, just a dry scoop. They just showed enough people, like, I'm seeing this girl do this every day. She's working out, doing what she needs to do. I see her with her kid doing what she needs to do. Why can't I do it?
100%.
I should be able to do that.
Absolutely.
If she can. Yeah. And that's exactly the way I kind of run.
I love that. And I feel like I really resonate with that too, because when I was in high school, I remember being in the auditorium, and I had a great high school experience. Like, I'm very thankful to have it. I still have a great relationship with my high school. But I remember there was one thing. I was always that kid that asked a lot of questions. And I remember sitting down in grade 9, like, orientation of what it was, and they said something like, if you look around here, these are going to be the next best 4 years of your life. And I was just like, that is the most wrong thing to say to students.
Yep.
Like, it's terrible.
It
like,
is.
it's not like you want to wake up and have every year for the rest of your life be the best years of your life.
Make every day the
every
best day.
Yeah, or have that perspective or that mindset to say, I am going to make this year the best, or I'm going to try and make this week the best, like, obviously we're human, and like I'm not saying, like, you know what I mean,
that's not the best. Your best today is not the best that you did yesterday. Your best is the best that you do in that moment. Each day is going to be different. Each moment's going to be different.
And every single thing that you do as a person is always going to make a wave in some way. You know what I mean? Yep. And I think by you interjecting into all these different industries, it's only going to leave a trickle effect for other people to jump on or resonate or connect with in some way, which I think is great.
Again, that's why I, like, encourage other people, like, hey, try this out. And, like, specifically with our house, when we're helping build careers and whatnot, we're not just focusing on, oh, you want to be a model, you're going to be a model. Oh, but do you want to dabble in hair and makeup? Do you want to dabble in photography? Do you want to dabble in another skill and whatnot that's in the industry? You're able to do that. And we want to help everybody do any discipline that they want to try.
And I feel like now, especially in the creative industries, the more skill sets that you can bring to the table, the more valuable you are. You know what I mean? Like, if you can, like, negotiate a deal, when I look at it, it's like, okay, I can do a multitude of things. Like, David's really good at doing a whole bunch of different things too. That's why I love working with him too. Like, Sam can do a whole bunch of different things.
Same thing, right?
I mean? It's great to have. And with taking all these skill sets and everything that you have, where do you kind of see yourself in the next 10 years? Do you have, like, a 10-year plan?
I don't have a 10-year plan because I have no expectations for life. I have, like, goals and things I want to succeed in doing complete, but having expectations brings disappointment to yourself. When you have expectations in any sort of situation, whether it be life, relationships, business, anything, when you put that expectation and you don't uphold yourself to it, you're destroying yourself in a sense. You look at it that way.
I completely agree.
Right?
I remember I was playing in a band, and some of the guys were older than me at the time. And they said, well, if we don't get a hit record in the next, like, 2 years, we're going to give up. And in my head, I'm just like,
you're going to give up.
I'm like, just quit.
Yeah.
Just fucking quit. Don't
waste
my
time. You have the mindset,
time.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Because if you're already putting a time frame on your goal.
Fail? Yeah. No, he's put a time frame on his failure, not even the goal.
Preach. You know what I mean? Like, and it shouldn't be about if you don't get this by this time or whatever, then it's like, it's like there's different action steps that you can take to achieve that. But if you're just loosely putting this out there and say, if I don't have this by this time, then I'm giving up on everything, then you've already lost,
exactly.
man. You've already fucking lost into the matrix. You know,
exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you just have to be able to just like, if Phil Van Cleef was on here earlier, just totally fucking blew our minds, and you just have to say fuck it in all the face of adversity.
Exactly.
And I was like, I love that, which is so true. You're just gonna be able to plow through, and you are a living example.
And that's exactly what
that.
it is. Like, people, when I first started my modeling company, they laughed at me. They're like, you don't have enough experience. You don't know the industry. You don't do enough. And you're from Niagara. What are you going to build? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Look at today.
Yeah, for sure. And this is just the start.
And it's just the
This
start.
is just the start.
Right?
I feel like I'm just starting right now, too.
Right? Like, I feel like our house is, like, just starting, but it's been going for the last couple of years, whether it be just connecting and networking and moving with people. Now we're working with businesses, and people know who we are, and we're expanding and growing. More things are coming. I think we have a move happening in our future soon. So,
yeah,
like, huge things.
Which brings me to my next question about future, and the last question I'm going to say for you today is, what's the best piece of advice that you could give someone for them to create their future?
Just start it. Whatever you want to do, whatever you have an idea for, start it, write it down, and do it. Get a team, get someone, whether it's going to be, I highly recommend don't looking at your close friends, don't look at your close family. Look at someone from Instagram or from your social media that follows you, that inspires you, that actually connects with you in a sense of whether you're already connecting or they're doing what you want to do. That is going to be the best step for you to start or continue the career in discipline that you want to do.
Very cool. I love that. I love that so much, and I really resonate that with that too as well, because my mentor Chris Dabrowski here in the area, like I see him like throwing all these like crazy events and doing all these things, and I'm just like, fuck, I'm like, I want to do that.
Right? And
then he kind of like took me under his wing, and now it's like I'm doing like kind of like big like stuff like that too, and now we're even business partners.
And we're gonna do some events too. We got
absolutely,
big things coming.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I really resonate with that, and I think that finding a mentor or finding like a good team or good people that you can
need
surround
that network. You need that solidified team, whether it's going to be like you're going to work on a project together or it's just a mastermind team where you're all just thinking alike within your own realms and industries, just to get ideas out, get things going, get the mind flowing. I used to do a mastermind team call at like 7 a.m. with a bunch of different people from different areas of the industries and
Very
stuff.
Cool.
So I recommend getting in on one of them. Find a Facebook group, find a bunch of people that
find a Discord, find whatever. Yeah.
Right? Anything. There's so many
things, so many outlets now.
Oh,
I know.
It's amazing. Like, because when you look at the day and age today, 10 years ago,
we didn't have this.
I don't even want to say half. I want to say 3/4 of the jobs that are available these days were not even existent.
A social media manager, like what the fuck was that? Like who would have said like
content creator, video creator,
exactly
any of the editing and stuff and whatnot? You had to be the big guys. You had to be the big commercial guys to even do those things. The TV commercials that we watched 10 years ago, they're on your phone now that we're creating on our own time. That we're able to create on our iPhones. Yeah, I know people who make full-blown commercials on iPhones.
Yeah. I know, right? Isn't it insane? Oh, fuck, love the internet.
Technology.
I know. Okay, Makayla, best place where people can find you. Final plugs.
Oh, Instagram is my #1 place. You're going to find me at Makayla R Official. You can find that same handle on Facebook as well. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on TikTok as well at mouse.xo. If you want to find our house, we're on Facebook and Instagram. Our Instagram is Our House Agency, and our Facebook is Our House Inc. N.
Love that. Amazing. And don't forget, get your CYF merch at cyfproject.com. We are going to be donating all the proceeds right now for the first little bit to a mental health scholarship for someone to study mental health education at the post-secondary level. Makayla's been rocking our stuff, too, at the gym.
Yes. I love my hat. Yes. My dad hat is cute. Little man wears the dad hat, too.
Oh, I love it. That's so great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking around with us. This has been the CYF Podcast. We hope that this episode helps you create your future, and we will see you in a future episode. Peace!